Okay, I want to. Oh, ah, TikTok thinks we're not live or doing anything. Because either it's like I'm not moving, or people aren't tapping that screen. Nobody's tapping that screen. Going tap, 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 tap. Okay. Alright, you guys, I want to see what Toddy One-Skip has to say. We could talk about Kate Marie, we could talk about Fancy, we could talk about Sarah, we could talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Chat is open for any discussion. Do you want to talk about Gypsy Rose? Want to talk about Ken last night on Morbids? Let's talk about it. I don't want to talk too much about Ken being on Morbids last night, though, because I don't want to state the questions or things I would have said to Ken if I was up on that panel, because I don't want anybody reusing what I have to say. So we can, if you want to talk about Ken, we can talk about kind of what other people said, but I don't, oh, whoops, I forgot the mics right here. Hello. I don't know if anybody heard anything I was saying. Okay, we could talk about, like I said, the Kate Marie situation and the alligators. We could talk about the Fancy and Sarah situation, the stories and how they're changing. We could talk about Ken being on Morbids last night, but like I said, I don't want to talk about what I would have said if I was on the panel last night, because Ken really pissed me off last night. And I would have confronted him with something. Not anything mean or anybody said, but I don't want to talk about it, because I don't want people watching my stream just to steal what I would have said. I'm tired of people stealing my content. So I'm not going to talk about what I would have said to Ken. If we want to talk about, I guess, what Ken had to say, that's fine. But I don't want to talk about what questions I would have asked him, because I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with people stealing my shit. Ken or Gypsy, if you guys want to come talk to me, I'll ask you my questions. I'm not gonna shut up and be shy like everybody else up there. I'm not going to. I'm not gonna just sit there and be quiet and let you railroad us. Okay? I would like me, Nina, and Ken in a room. Maybe Morbid too.
Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One-Skip. I am Toddy One-Skip. Welcome back to my channel. Guys, it's August 2nd. It's the morning of the sentencing for Christopher Gregor. It's not too late to pray. It's not too late to put your blue on. Guys, today's the day. The day we've been waiting. I hope and pray. Guys, I'm going to try to stream this.
It's a small room.
As I said. If for some reason you guys are having a hard time seeing it from my channel, please, I will not take any offense. Go to wherever it is best for you to view it and view it. Because it's more important that we view it. Right, guys? So, all the best to the Mitchell.
Toddy's video started playing. She's got a little attack dog, Ken, so, Kate. She's not going to show up. She's got Ken showing up for her. Let's see what Toddy has to say about content creators and moral compass.
It's not too late to pray. It's not too late to put your blue on. Guys,
oh, sorry, I'm
today's
wearing
the day.
red. Let me go put blue on. Hold on. Okay. Is this okay, Toddy? Is this okay, Toddy? I have dark blue. Kind of a turquoise. I don't have much blue. I threw away a lot of my clothes and stuff, and I had to get rid of a lot of the laundry in my house because it was just literally piling up around the house. So I had to shorten some of my laundry, and I think this is the best blue I got, Toddy. Because today is the sentencing.
The day we've been waiting.
Yes.
I hope and pray. Guys, I'm going to try to stream this. As I said, if for some reason you guys are having a hard time seeing it from my channel, please, I will not take any offense. Go to wherever it is best for you to view it and view it. Because it's more important that we view it. Right, guys? So, all the best to the Michelo family. I'm praying that Christopher Gregory gets the book thrown at him.
Yeah.
All the books thrown at him, actually.
Christopher Gregory, I can't believe he only got manslaughter. And I think it's because... So do you guys know the difference between first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter, which is there's voluntary and there's involuntary manslaughter. And there is a difference between, let me explain to you the difference between voluntary and involuntary manslaughter. So first-degree murder, as we know, is pre-planning somebody's demise and then carrying it out. Or at least attempting. Because people can get, if you at least plan somebody's murder and try to carry it out, whether they pass or not, you can get first degree. You can get the death penalty if they do pass on. You could probably most likely get life if they don't. And then there's voluntary and involuntary manslaughter. So involuntary manslaughter would be crime of passion. You and your wife all of a sudden break out in a fight, and you push her, and she falls down a flight of stairs or something, and she is now gone. Heat of the moment. That's involuntary manslaughter. You accidentally cause somebody's demise in the moment. Now, voluntary manslaughter is when, like Christopher Gregory's case, so by making his child run on the treadmill like that and hitting and beating his child is illegal. That's called abuse, abuse or whatever. Okay? So voluntary manslaughter is like, say I'm speeding down the street 90 miles per hour, run a red light, accidentally hit somebody and cause their demise. Okay? I was breaking the law and I caused somebody's demise. That's voluntary manslaughter. So, voluntary manslaughter is I purposely beat my wife until I beat my wife all the time. And then I did one time it caused her demise. So you have to be breaking the law. Okay? I got drunk and hit somebody over the head with a beer bottle or something. Like, okay, so you got to be breaking the law. Or like, okay, I got drunk, I'm driving the car, I could be driving the speed limit, under the speed limit, but it's still illegal to drive while intoxicated. Cause somebody's demise. I wrecked my car and the passenger is now gone. I was drunk and streaming, driving down the road. This literally happened. Rolled the car, caused somebody's demise. A streamer caused her sister's demise. And continued to stream after she got out of the car, viewing her sister's body. That's voluntary manslaughter. I'm breaking the law when I cause somebody's demise. So involuntary manslaughter is I accidentally caused somebody's demise. I didn't plan it. I wasn't breaking the law. and I caused their demise. So that's the difference between first degree and then manslaughter, voluntary and involuntary, okay? So basically, he probably was like doing voluntary manslaughter because he was doing wrong to his child and it caused the child's demise. But that does get a lesser sentence because it wasn't pre-planned, it wasn't premeditated and vicious, and it wasn't like in Gypsy Rose's case where it was pre-planned, it was violent, it was, uncalled for, this person didn't deserve this, and you sat there for a year and planned their demise, okay? So that's the difference, guys, if you didn't know. When I was going to school for criminal justice, a paralegal gave me their book that they went to college with, and I studied this paralegal book that went over the definitions of like robbery versus burglary. What's the difference? And what's the difference between, all of these definitions of law? What's the definition? I didn't know there was a difference between robbery and burglary till I read this book. The difference is robbery is taking people's stuff while they're not home. And burglary is taking people's stuff while they're home and you have a weapon. And you deprive them of their possessions while threatening them. And there's a person there. That's burglary. Robbery is just straight up depriving somebody of their possessions. That's literally the definition of the law, is to deprive somebody of their possessions, but they're not there. They're gone at work, they're gone on vacation, they're at work and you break into their car and they're not at their car. And so, like, there's literally definitions between calling something robbery, burglary, manslaughter, all that stuff. There is very legal definitions for all of this. Anyways, we'll stop with the definitions and we'll continue watching Toddy. I've rambled enough. But anyways, if you needed to know, there's your definitions.
Okay. Guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that I heard in the background because while I was working today, actually on, trying to get my house in order because, I moved, I had on an interview in the background and it was Sarah from Fancy and Sarah. And it was the first time that I had heard Sarah speak on what had happened in Chillicothe. I
got an idea of Sarah's story if you guys want to shoot it with me. There's something I want to bounce off you guys that I would like to bounce off you guys and see about Sarah's story that also I want to be the first streamer to say it. Just kidding.
It was a 7-day-old interview already. And it was from Uncorked with Brandy.
Yes, I've seen it.
Brande. Guys, if I forget to put the link to that interview, which I thought was really interesting, please remind me. If you don't see it in my description, please remind me so I could stop and put it in there. Because it's well worth, I think, if you guys wanted to know Sarah's point of view. I wanted to know what the hell did Sarah have to say about all this? Because Sarah kept stum.
I did too.
And in the meantime, Fancy was saying that her and Sarah were still talking. Not true, according to Sarah. And a lot of things that we, might have thought. But now, we're getting Sarah's point of view. And, my name came up a few times. Yeah, because Sarah said, even Toddy One Skip gave and believed the narrative.
By the way, I am glad Toddy One Skip to kind of change the subject. Good job, Toddy, for not believing the gay rumors against Ken anymore. I saw one of your last videos, and you finally were like ditching the rumors about Ken being gay. Ken has had a girlfriend He left Gypsy for a girl, and he stayed with her until Gypsy got out, which was horrible because he'd been with this girl for like 3-4 years. The rumor is they were engaged, so when Ken said to Gypsy, I've never proposed to anybody before because I've never loved anybody like I love you. Okay, that was a lie because he was with this girl for over 3 years. He proposed to her. He did love her, but what is it about Gypsy that made Ken say peace out to this girl that he's been with for so long? Apparently he loved and was engaged to. It was a mutual separation, guys. I like the way he says that in Natasha Cooper's life. He's like, it was a mutual separation. He turns his head from the camera. He's like, it was a mutual separation. Like he's doing a matter of fact kind of thing going, it was a mutual separation, guys. It was. Okay, just so you know.
I did. I didn't so much think it was about First Amendment rights per se. I thought that they were trying to squash the little guy because they just didn't want that narrative out there. And I don't think that that's okay. And I know that they had a lot more resources than Fancy did. And in order for her to have a fair fight, she needed help getting there to Chillicothe. A lot has come out about how the money was spent and all of this, and that's too bad.
Everybody is disgusted now at watching Fancy order at these restaurants and shove all this food in her face. And I've read the comments, guys. I've watched the videos. I've read the comments. I don't just watch videos. I read comments, too. I see what people say.
And, you know, I wanted to say, guys, we are people. I've said this before. We are people in front. My case, I'm in front of an iPhone. I'm in front of an iPhone speaking to you. I
was wondering how Toddy does this
a person
at
just
work.
Like everybody else out there. Some of my decisions
Just
I
have
think
the
are
microphone
good.
hooked into
Some of my
the
decisions
iPhone?
later I'll scratch my head and say, what the hell was I thinking? You know, and it's all about living and learning. However, I'd like to think I'm going in a positive direction. I can clearly see sometimes that some of these content creators aren't, and they're kind of a little reckless. And intentionally so.
I would like to take this moment. Toddy, you probably won't see this video. I guarantee you won't. But I would like to tell you that I do think you're going in a very good direction. I love and respect you and watch your videos all the time. And usually I back you. I just don't back the Ken is gay rumors. But to me, Toddy, you got a good moral and ethical compass, okay? I'm not worried about your moral and ethical compass.
Intentionally so.
And I would never, ever take Toddy for a liar, either. I would never think that anything you come on stream to say is a lie. And I've watched you grow from around 1,000 people to your 11,000 you have now. I have been with you through your whole growth. I have watched you almost literally from the beginning, Toddy. I don't know if you know, I've been with you for a very, very long time. And you're one of the rare streamers that I stick with that hasn't gone off their moral and ethical compass. And like I said, Nina went way off it when she started spreading rumors for clout. And then I started speaking up against her because I have strong morals and ethics. So, way to go, Toddy. I appreciate you. Keep going.
Dishonest to people, taking advantage of people. I have a real concern about something I had heard in the interview about maybe people taking advantage of people and knowing that you're taking advantage of people, and that's not okay. Listen, guys, that's not okay. I don't give a shit who you are. That you just can't behave like that. And so I want you guys to, if you want to, check out that interview, because I think listen, Sarah, I think more or less takes accountability for her role in what happened here. But also, she was more or less, as she said, bullied by Fancy. Fancy was the stronger of the personalities.
She was.
You have a choice. If you're a stronger of a personality, you're going to either lead people in the right direction or in your direction. And maybe your direction's all about you. And that's what I gathered from what Sarah said. So when people follow people, so like Dawn, the cutting board Dawn, she said things that were crude. Okay, I don't like the crudeness, but the fact that
same here. I do respect Dawn. She is a little harsh sometimes when she talks, but that's because she has a really strong personality and strong morals and ethics too. And she really, really, really hates it when a streamer crosses those lines, either into that gray or black area. I don't think it matters gray or black. Like, she wants you to stay in that white area, and that's okay. But some people don't, because I like to stay in that truthful area. I like to, when people listen to my streams, I don't want them to look and wonder, is Rose lying? Is Rose not telling the truth? Is she trying to, for whatever clout or whatever reason? I want people to watch my streams and be able to say, I know that if Rose said it, like I said, if I said it, I heard it somewhere. I don't make it up. I hope I can show you the receipts. I need to start writing down videos or and watching them live with you and say, you see, this is where I got it from, you guys. And like, we can look up the newspaper article about the shark attack with Kate Marie. It's there, guys. It's there. If you just Google it, it's there.
Yeah, how does Fancy still have followers? Why aren't people realizing it can't be everybody and not Fancy? That's just not math. Why does everybody that Fancy works with wash their hands of her? It can't be everybody and not her. So, I'm not here to crusade for everybody, but guys, even me, wake up. We are people behind iPhones, Androids, computer screens. We're not always right. We have no reason being put on a pedestal.
No.
Never a reason to be put on a pedestal.
Go, Tommy.
I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall that high.
Yeah.
I don't belong up there. I haven't met anybody that belongs on a pedestal who is short of a hero that has jumped in the way of danger to take care of somebody else. Please put them on the pedestal. But not content creators.
Exactly.
That are sitting in the safety of their own home talking
Exactly.
about things that they have opinions on. And their opinions can be wrong. My opinion can be wrong.
Exactly.
We can be wrong.
Exactly.
But listen, when I'm wrong and you call me out on it, I won't block you.
Same here.
When you guys say, hey, Toddy, you were wrong. This information is this information is this. Oh, I didn't know. Thank you.
Exactly. You guys have done
Guys,
that to me, and I have corrected
please
myself.
pay attention to the people that you are giving of your day. People you are getting information from.
Exactly.
Not all my information has been correct in the past. You guys have helped me. So please, 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 guys, think about it for a second. This community is an older community. Imagine the kids today that don't even have the hindsight or a quarter of the wisdom that we claim to have. Think of how dangerous it is for them. on the web, getting information, acting upon that information. At least for the most part, we could calm ourselves down. We could give ourselves a minute. We know what we need to soothe ourselves. The internet, we need to be responsible if we're going to take a platform on the internet. And if we're going to be joking and we're going to be crude or something like that, we need to maybe say that. Yes, we need to maybe say that so that people know that if we're poking fun at people and it's just fun at people, okay, it's comedy, but, you know, we have to be careful. There's kids unaliving themselves because they're being bullied, and then the people, I was only joking. The power of the internet.
That's my biggest beef too, Toddy. It's been a trigger my whole life. My mom and stuff, that's her biggest thing she does to me. Well, I was only joking, Rose. I wasn't serious, Rose. My sister-in-law too has had a beef with my mom doing that. I didn't mean it. If you didn't mean it, if you're only joking, then don't let it come out your mouth. Because it affects people. It does. It affects people. Jokes affect people. I know Morbid like to say we don't make fun, we make funny, and in a way that's cool. But literally every word that comes out of your mouth does affect people. I mean, like I said, I don't hate Gypsy. And everything we do say affects Gypsy, Kate Marie, Fancy, Sarah, Nina, everybody, everything we say about another creator or person out there, it will affect them. Even if we're a nobody. I'm a nobody, but if they catch one of my streams and I say something, it can hurt them. Even if it's just my thoughts, just me thinking. So it is a harsh world being a streamer because it is just my thoughts. I'm just thinking. But I'm never cruel on purpose and brush it off with saying, well, I was just joking. There's a difference between, saying your thoughts about a situation going on and purposely being malicious towards somebody. And then when a negative outcome becomes of it because of what you said, you cover your ass by saying, well, it was only a joke, guys. Because it wasn't only a joke when you said it.
Is no joke.
Exactly.
It's just no joke. And when the adult content creators, when we take responsibility for what we're saying and what we're doing, instead of being abrasive or talking out of both sides of our mouth.
I said this is one of the reasons why I didn't spread the Ken is gay rumors. Okay, there's a line I don't cross as a content creator. I will watch Gypsy's show. She said the truth would come out. Watch it. Well, I watched it, and the truth came out. In my opinion, the truth, and I talked about it because she aired it on TV. Okay, the truth came out. She aired it for the world to see. She knew the world is going to see this. And we comment on it. But we comment on what they put out there. I have not seen Ken with another man, so I am not going to comment on that. Nobody on Grindr has showed literal proof. Okay, you can Photoshop text messages and stuff. I'm not going to believe some little conversation. Give us the proof or shut up and quit spreading rumors. Either show the proof to back it, or it's just your opinion, your thought, and possibly a rumor that it's not true that you're spreading. So as a content creator, you have to be careful everything you say, because people are going to start repeating that. Because how many content creators, like I said, I'm glad Toddy is finally getting off the Ken is gay rumors, because I respect Toddy so much. And I don't want them spreading something that isn't proven true. On Natasha Cooper's live, everybody outed Ken's girlfriend. Not boyfriend, girlfriend. The girlfriend he left Gypsy for, that he was with for 3 years. The one that Katie Joy says he needs to take all the pictures off his phone of. Because Gypsy's tired of seeing his phone and seeing her pictures. But he was with her for 3-4 years. Of course he has pictures of them together. But Gypsy wants him to remove all his memories of her.
You guys, it's okay to hold us accountable. It's okay to say, hey, what'd you mean by that? Or, hey, what'd you do with that? Or, hey, what's going on?
Like, thank you, Dots, for giving me the opportunity. Instead of just leaving my stream upset, thinking I was talking about Morbid's mods, thank you for confronting me. And giving me the chance to tell you, sorry, I am talking about Fancy's mods, not Morbid's mods. You guys weren't the dumb, stupid one out there bullying people, okay? It was Fancy's mod. Fancy started bullying people on Morbid's stream, and it gave her mods the okay. They follow her behavior, and it gave her mods the okay to be in chat and follow her example. Morbid's mods, you guys were fine, okay? But thank you for calling me out, Dots, and making me correct myself. Because sometimes I'm just talking and I might slip up on a word. I might slip up on saying Morbid instead of Fancy. I guess I accidentally did. I don't know. As soon as Dot said it, it's like my memory erased itself, and I was like, oh crap, what did I just say? What did I just say? It's like rewind my own video, rewind. What did I say? Did I say Morbid's mods? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I meant Fancy's mods. But thank you for calling me out. Make me take accountability. Make me correct my words.
On with that or anything else, And when you feel like a content creator has told you an untruth, you should question that. Because once somebody tells an untruth, it makes me wonder, what else have they been untruthful?
Hold on, I'll be RB. shush! We're not talking about it anymore. Every year they talk about my birthday gift, and I guess it before I can open it. Gosh darn it! Like, I guess I just found out my husband ordered me a birthday gift behind my back. Oh wait, hold on a sec. Oh gosh. Running back and forth is starting to hurt my back. Okay. Let's finish Toddy's video.
About. So all the credibility when it comes to Fancy has gone out the window. You know, that's gone out the window. I don't know what she found, what she didn't find. I don't know how much of a hero.
This is the hard thing is now you see how much Fancy is like Gypsy. The story keeps changing. According to before Chillicothe, Fancy and Sarah were getting along great. They were streaming together, things were going great. When it came time to go to Chillicothe, I remember on Fancy's live, I was there, Fancy excitingly, while she was asking for donations, was saying that she finally gets to meet Sarah in person and how great that this opportunity, it sucks that she's got to go to court, but she has an opportunity to meet Sarah in person, and how wonderful this was, and how excited they were to finally meet in person after working together for so long. Like, this meetup was going to be like getting a birthday gift, opening a gift on Christmas. It was that exciting to get to. And then some crazy things go down in Chillicothe. It breaks up a friendship like a week later. And the 180 that was taken, all of a sudden it turns out Sarah was never a good person. I'll show you this one person that was also talking about that today. The problem with Katie Joy right now is she's in the same position that Fancy was. The Blanchards were great people. They backed the Blanchards in their story until there was a falling out. All things were good until it wasn't. And then all of a sudden, the Blanchards became horrible people. Horrible, horrible people. Once the final, I guess this lady said that Fancy and the Blanchards broke up a couple of times. The main breakup, this is so stupid, was because Fancy didn't like Ken and was in like a People magazine article or something saying bad stuff about Ken, and Gypsy was like, I'm done with Fancy. She doesn't like my Ken. Really? Not everybody's gonna like your significant other, okay? Come on, you know. It's stupid why the first breakup even happened. But she explained Candace Starr didn't technically leak the photos, the crime scene photos. And the crime scene photos came from two different sources. Hey, Chrissy Cakes. I agree with you about the content creators in there. Yeah, this is all getting crazy. Like, I agree. I'll have to show you this chick. She's really good. She explained to everybody. Okay, so Candace Starr didn't technically leak these photos. These photos were leaked back in 2019. And they came from two different places, okay? It's like these people are so bad. Yeah, it's like Sarah went from, oh, I'm so glad I get to finally meet Sarah. This is so great. To, she was never a good person. And it just finally, like, ended. But she's always been this horrible, bad person. And it's like, if Chillicothe never happened, say Fancy got a flight and flew to Chillicothe or something, or whatever, Fancy got to Chillicothe some other way by herself. The case got overturned. She came back. There's no new charges. Sarah would still be by her side. There would be no problems with Sarah. Sarah would still be the one. But it's happened to Ryan. It's happened to Sarah. It's going to happen to Mac. Good luck, Mac. But it's happened to the Blanchards. Fancy was with the Blanchards. Katie Joy is now doing it. Because she asked this question, and it's a good question. She said, hey guys, if you'd never broken up, Katie, this is a question for Katie Joy and and Fancy. If you'd never had a falling out with the Blanchards, would you have ever leaked the info? Would we not have all of this, the medical records, the crime scene photos, blah, blah, blah? Would we not have any of that had this breakup not happened? Because all of a sudden, after the breakup, everybody that you were with, you turned vicious towards. All of a sudden, like right now, I don't want to go up on Morbid's panel. I kind of feel disrespected and stuff. But I still respect Morbid, and I'm not going to put Morbid down. Don't ask me to put Morbid down, because I'm not going to. So I might not go up in his panel anymore. I might lurk and just watch his stream. I might occasionally say stuff in the chat. But, I'm not gonna, just because I feel disrespected and everything, I'm not gonna say Morbid's a bad person. I'm not gonna sit here and put him down. I still respect him. I still watch his stream. I'm just not gonna be a part of it anymore. It seems to be a trend with people who Yeah, they expose all their secrets. Like, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, this person was horrible, and they have all these secrets, and it turns out they were bad the whole time, and they're evil, and they did all this crap to me, and I saved their friend, though, and yeah, so stupid. You know what? That was my teenage years, Chrissy. Who did the same thing? I woke up last night and I was like, it was 10:30 at night and I thought Morbid was done. And then all of a sudden I turned on Morbid stream to watch the replay. Oh, he's not done and Ken's up there. So I didn't catch the whole thing why Ken even jumped up there. But apparently Ken was on there. Okay, you want to watch, is it this one? I don't know if it's this one. Let me see if it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, you want to watch her, okay? It's called The Ward Case Studies. She has been working on Gypsy's case since Gypsy was put in prison. She used to be a mod for Nicole. Is it Nicole Cooper? What's her name? No, Cooper chick. The one that hates Fancy. This video right here explains the crime scene photos, where they came from, Fancy's relationship to the Blanchards and to the Cooper chick, and the Cooper chick's relationship to the Blanchards, and how each of them got. So the crime scene photos comes from two places. Fancy did put in a FOIA request, and she got some of the crime scene photos. Now the more gruesome ones, and the ones that Dee Dee is half undressed in, and the gruesome ones of the neck and everything, those crime scene photos were not in the FOIA request. Those were held back for the courts. Those were in Gypsy's discovery. When Gypsy took the plea deal, she signed the discovery over to Christy. Mike Stanfield gave Christy all the discovery. Christy took those more disgusting photos and gave them to Fancy and Nicole. When she had a falling out with Fancy, she turned to Nicole and gave them to Nicole. Fancy and Nicole broke out the more disgusting photos because those ones are not in the FOIA request. Those are Gypsy's private discovery that got locked away when she took the plea deal. Those were never supposed to be public or leaked. However, Christy leaked them to two streamers who didn't like each other and had Facebook sites, and she modded for the Cooper chick, Nicole Cooper. Is it Nicole Cooper? She modded for the Cooper chick. Natasha Cooper, there we go. Natasha Cooper, there we go. Sorry, I knew it was an N name. Nicole, Natasha. She modded for Natasha Cooper, okay? When Christy had a falling out with Fancy over the magazine article that Fancy bashed Ken in. I want that magazine article. Gypsy got mad and they had a falling out. And that's when Christy turned on Fancy and went to Natasha Cooper and gave Natasha Gypsy's discovery. the private discovery that came from the lawyers. Natasha Cooper took that discovery, gave it to her over Facebook, and she spread the additional photos that are not in the FOIA request. Yeah, she was in the Natasha Cooper mod. Yes, she was. She says it in this video. She was a mod for Natasha Cooper in her Facebook web. They had a Facebook site about the real Dan. They were trying to figure out who the real Dan is. Who is Dan Glidwell? There's two Dans. Both of them are from Arkansas. Both of them are on parole in Missouri, so this is odd that there's two Dans in this group, in this like Star Wars or whatever group. Two Dans. One of them is the real Dan, and one of them is just the other Dan. But they both are from Arkansas. They both were in Missouri on parole. And their ages are 3 years apart from each other. One is older than the other. And this is where Chrissy comes in because she knows the real Dan. There is the real Dan. So they had a Facebook site trying to peg the real Dan. And she modded for it. For Natasha Cooper. And that's how she got the more gruesome crime scene photos. But I did what she said before she said it. Because remember when I was looking at the drive the other day? And I looked at who owned the drive and the date it was uploaded. Because she said most people don't look at that. And I'm like, I did it. You guys saw me online. I looked and said, yep, this comes from the Good Wives. And it was uploaded on this day. In 2019, you can see some were loaded in 2019, some were loaded in 2020. I did check the owner of the drive. Candace put the drive out, and I did check the owner of the drive. And I was like, oh, these are Fancy's. These do come from the Good Wives. She did steal Fancy's drive. Somehow she stole Fancy's cloud drive and spread it. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. She must have uploaded it to her drive or something. I don't know. But I did check. I did check the owner of the drive and the date they were uploaded. But because Christy gave two streamers that hated each other the additional crime scene photos, everything got leaked to the public back in 2019 and 2020. So Candace Starr, all she did was bring it to YouTube. It was in the Facebook world. It was somewhat in the Google world if you Googled it. But these photos, yes, Fancy was right, have been leaked a long time ago. They were leaked by Fancy and Natasha. And Christy, technically the original leaker of these photos, if you want to blame anybody, goes back to Christy. Because Fancy did put in a FOIA request and got half the photos. Half. Only half the photos were released to the public. There are photos that she is saying she is upset that got leaked. And I kind of agree with her. Dee Dee is half dressed. These are not dignified photos. We are looking at photos of a woman that is a victim of Gypsy. No matter what she did to Gypsy, the day that Gypsy unalived her, she became the victim and Gypsy became the perpetrator. It doesn't matter what happened before June 9th, 2015. All that matters is what happened on June 9th, 2015. Dee Dee became the victim. Some of those, yeah, because people are now able to literally see almost all of Dee Dee's body parts. Anybody around the world has now seen these uncensored photos. We are picking at the body of a victim. Imagine if it was your mother, your aunt, your sister, your daughter, or yourself. You passed away, and people are passing around your half-nude photos. Your last moments. Pictures of what you were in your last moments. Yeah, they didn't censor them. Candace Starr just wanted to... I like Candace Starr, but I know she wanted to hit Gypsy hard on her birthday. But she did it at the cost of a victim. Because you got to imagine how Dee Dee's family's feeling at this moment. Dee Dee's family, they don't like Gypsy, the Petre family. They do not, and yes, she verifies it. Claude did not want to pay or pick up Dee Dee's ashes. He did sarcastically joke about flush them down the toilet. Okay? That was rude. That was rude, by the way. However, I don't know if it was Dorla or the other sister went ahead and paid for the ashes and picked them up. And she has the ashes. She hates Gypsy, and that's why Gypsy doesn't have any of her mother's ashes. And then I will give Fancy credit for she didn't release the photos. Yeah. The problem is when Fancy uploaded the photos to her drive, and she knew the public was going to view these photos, she didn't censor them. Fancy should have censored the photos before she uploaded them to the drive. I know it takes time to censor photos. You got to go through each one. You got to censor. At least Candace Starr, when she put out her video of the photos, she did censor them. She didn't censor the drive, but the one she literally pulled for the drive for her video, she censored. And I wasn't prepared to see uncensored photos either. When I opened the drive for the first time and saw Dee Dee laying on the bed and her rear end was up in the air and wasn't censored, I wasn't prepared to see them uncensored. Because I saw them on Candace's censored. I saw them on other people's censored. I didn't know the drive was uncensored. So part of the fault, I gotta say, does lie with Fancy. She can keep... It's like I was a photographer at one time, and I explained this at the beginning of the video. When I do photography, and you ask me to do your photography, when I get done with I give you 2 files when I'm done with your photos. The first file I give you is your photos as it's the originals. The second one is when I take them and I smooth your skin and I make the leaves brighter and I alter them. So one is an original, unaltered folder, and the second folder is an altered So you have the choice to print out an original, because I'm an artist, and so the second folder, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So this is how I see beauty. And so I altered your photos how I see beauty. I gave you the originals so that you can alter the originals with your eye, not mine, yours. So I give you 2 folders. Fancy should have kept an original folders and made a censor folder and uploaded the censor folder to the drive. Because she knew random people around the world were paying to see these pictures. And she allowed them to be on the drive uncensored. So yes, give her credit and give her fault. Because a photographer knows to always keep 2 folders. An originals and an altered. Ask any photographer. They always have 2 folders. The originals and the altered. She's not a photographer, so I won't fault her for that, but... Yeah, in a way, it's like, you probably don't think about it in the moment. You're just like, oh, got the crime scene photos, put them on the drive, everybody. Go ahead, see them. But those were shocking and hard to see. But she explains everything. If you want to know everything, she did this video yesterday. She explains it all. I watched it today as I was heading to my doctor's appointment. And I was like, this is a good video, damn good video. She explains a lot. She was there in 2019 as things were going down. So, but she's on Natasha Cooper's side. So her and Fancy clash a little bit. But that's why I said I'm not loading this drive on my computer. When we were on live yesterday, I was like, there is no way I'm loading this drive to my computer. I have access to it now. If the access goes away, well, it goes away. But I am not loading those pictures to my computer at all. There is no way. I would have to upload them and censor them, and then I can keep them. But I said yesterday, I said, there's no way I'm uploading these photos to my computer. No. I am not doing it. But yeah, would you want to hurt somebody? Which is never a good idea, by the way. You got to think about what you're really doing when you're trying to hurt that person. What are you really doing? You know? Are you hurting the person or are you hurting the victim? Because you got to think, yes, Dee Dee is a victim, but she's passed on. So we don't know what happens after you die. So we don't know if Dee Dee can see what's going on. We don't know Dee Dee's thoughts. We don't know if her spirit is still around. According to Candace Starr, it is. However, the victim does have family that is alive and well. So when you hurt the victim, when you hurt Dee Dee to hurt Gypsy, by proxy, you hurt the Petre family. You expose them. So as you're think about it, as you're exposing Dee Dee, you're exposing the Petre family. So do it with integrity, do it with dignity. Don't do it with malice. think, you know? Think before you act. I mean, I know it's quite a few photos to censor, but it's worth your time in a way, because I know Candace Starr knows that these photos need to be censored, because she censored them when she put them on her stream. So I know she knows that these photos shouldn't be viewed uncensored. But she leaked the drive and allowed it to be viewed uncensored, unfortunately. So, end of story. What do you think of the new Kate story, Chrissy? I didn't see if you said anything about it, but I was like, what'd you think of the new Kate alligator story? It's like, where's she going with this? I can see if I can pull up that article. Let's see. Okay, so her right leg, which was amputated below the knee, is covered in pink sticky substance with shades of red, then painted on, thought to be SFX makeup. Marie's clothes are torn and prosthetics mimicking scorched skin and muscle are added to her leg, making it appear as if she just suffered a serious injury. In the previous video, she shared her clips from the training session with fellow amputees undergoing the same process on their various limbs, ready for what Marie called the mass casualty simulation. Explaining more about those taking part, Marie said all people who lose their limb were involved in either a shark attack or severed in the military. Numerous people commented on the videos praising Marie's service. It's amazing how you turn your experience into something amazing to help others. This isn't the article I read, though. Marie claims when she was 16 due to Munchausen by proxy, so volunteer firefighter, shared a video in April, celebrated 5 years, she said. Bring 5 years and certified, blah, 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 blah. Is that it about the shark? Hold on, let me see if there's another article. Because she said something about joking about the shark attack. Kate Marie. Let's see. Whoops. Okay. Amputee. Because I remember reading something saying that she was joking about a shark attack. Whoops. Don't mean to click on that. Let's see. Let's see. I remember something joking about Kate Marie and a shark attack. Kate Marie, amputee, volunteer, I guess. I don't know. Let me look at that again. I swear I read that. Okay. No, it's not that one. No, it's not that. Gosh darn it, it's making me a liar. I'm not a liar. I swear I saw her say something about joking about a shark attack. Maybe I ought to go over my own video. Okay, let me, you know what? I'm gonna go over my own video. I'm gonna look at my own video, dang it. Let's see. Boom, boom. Videos. Oh wait, lives. It'd be under lives. Okay, it's this one. Okay, so we're just gonna really quick. You gotta listen to what she says in the interrogation. That one yet.
Helpful to anyone else who is either a survivor or is.
Once you get a holy F, I hate hearing my own voice. When, yeah, she said a gator. Hold on, I'm trying to look for that article I saw. I saw an article where she was joking about a shark attack. I'm like going over my own video now. It's like, where did I see that? Come on, Rose, where did you see that? Okay. It's not there. Okay. Okay. Come on, where did I see this at? I remember them joking about a shark attack. I remember an article about shark attack. I swear to God, I remember an article about a shark attack. And see if I can find that video again. Find that article again. Okay, here it is. It was around this part that I found the shark attack thing. I thought, maybe it was on the other live, I don't know. I've done 2 lives about Kate Marie now. This is where we look up pressure ulcers. Okay, maybe it's on the other live. Let me see. On your foot, it can take. Shh. Just kidding. Okay, I was looking at this one. Yeah, that's what. Okay. I don't know which one I did. There was a second video I did on Kate. Where was it? There's this video that I purposely did about Kate. And then one of these videos I think has Kate in it. Man, let's see. Oh, what video was it? There was a video, I swear I read an article where Kate joked about a shark attack. She said she didn't lose her leg in a shark attack, but she's joked about it in the past. Gosh darn it, it's like, Rose, I don't pull things out of thin air. It's like, how do I find that article again? I don't know what video it was. Her. Okay, there was, okay, ooh, I clicked on the right video. Nice. Maybe it was this video. Because we were looking up Kate in this video. We were researching Kate here. Okay, this is all about Gypsy though, right? Yeah. And then we get into Kate. Trying to remember, where was it? I know I was looking up articles and I came across that article, and there was something about Kate and a shark attack. I remember Kate talking about a shark attack. No, it's not that article. Gosh darn it. Maybe, I don't know. Her hair, I'm seeing a little bit of a curl. I'm seeing it beautifully, nicely combed. I think maybe she joked about it being a shark attack because she said most people lose their leg in a shark attack. And people asked her if she lost her leg in a shark attack. There was an article that said something about people asking her if she lost her leg in a shark attack, and she joked about it or something. I swear I found that article. If I would have known in the future she was going to say he got bitten off by a gator, I would have saved that article so I could pull it up again. Because, like, right now, I can't find it. It's like I can't find what I was talking about. I swear it said she was joking about a shark attack. Because people thought she lost her leg in a shark attack. Because there was some rumor about a shark attack at one point. I guess I have no proof of it. Dang it, Rose. Oh, man, I thought I had proof. She says all people who lose their limbs were involved in either a shark attack or served in the military. So I guess there was some rumor about her losing her leg as a shark attack. I don't know. I don't know why she said this, but I swear there's another one that says more about a shark attack. No, it's not that. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should look up adaptive cape. Maybe that will pull up something. Gosh darn it. Man, I know I read an article where she was joking about a shark attack. It didn't just say, oh, most amputees lose their... I swear she was explaining that it wasn't a shark attack, that she was just joking. Man. Well, that article shows like in the past she said something about a shark attack. Because people ask her how she lost her leg, and I swear there was an article that said she joked about it. And she was clearing up the rumor that she didn't lose it in a shark attack. And I didn't do it on stream either, so I can't prove it. Oh, man. Do I feel stupid now? I could have swore I could have backed this up with receipts. I don't know how I got in this position now. Because I'm like, I could have swore I could have backed this up. That she joked about a shark attack because people were... There was this rumor at one point that she was clearing up that it wasn't a shark attack. I swear I don't just pull stuff out of thin air. I read it somewhere. And I thought I did it on stream. So I could like go back on my stream and be like, there it is. See it, got it, done it, did it, yay. Okay, well, she at least says most people, I don't know.
Before I had my health
Hello, my name is Kate. It's my bestie. We're on a road trip. So, I am going to tell you how I lost my leg. This story is 100% the truth. So, one day, I was younger. I was around the age of 8 years old, and me and my brother and two neighbor kids went down to this construction site at the end of the neighborhood. They were building some new houses, and there was a creek behind it. We always went down to this creek, and so we were down in the creek and hanging out back there, and everything's covered in pine needles. It's fall, so everything was covered. Well, I had to go to the bathroom, and being in Florida and being locked out of your house all day by your parents, it's nothing new to have to go to use the bathroom in the woods. So I went to go pee, and while I was going to the bathroom, something bit me, and I swatted it. Well, when I was coming out, my friend said she thought it was a banana spider, and banana spiders are these really big black and yellow spiders. So I started swatting, and I was scared. Next thing I heard is, I was being chased by an entire swarm of bees. I had stepped in their hive. It was yellow jackets, also known as killer bees. And they do not just sting once and die. They sting you and they bite you. So I'm taking off running. I end up running past my friend and get half of the bees on her. And so they follow me. I tried jumping in the creek. That didn't work. They wait for you to come out for water. So if you don't know that, ever being chased by a swarm of bees, just know that they will wait for you to come out for water. If you didn't know that. So that didn't work. And then there was a lady who was at a house up the street, and she heard us screaming, and she got a hose and she sprayed us down and had to call 911. Well, I had a severe allergic reaction, and I had massive swelling of my leg. I was rushed to the hospital, and I was treated. Well,
Okay, this video was made 7 hours ago. Kate Marie, this video was made 7 hours ago. So now she's teasing a shark bite, bee sting. This shows you, Kate, I wouldn't be doing this if I were you, by the way. I don't even want to finish hearing the story. But Kate, now we know how good of a liar you are. Look at the magical stories she comes up with, backstories of her with her siblings, and the details of the construction site, and the details of the women that were there, and the people that helped her, and getting rushed here and there, and the details in her lies. Are you just trying to prove to us, Kate, what a good liar you are? You are ruining your own reputation and credibility. Your Munchausen by proxy story is totally down the drain now. Yes, there is something very wrong with her, because look how good she can lie. She had the gator story this morning. Now there's a bee story. The details in these stories are insane. Yes, she is another sociopath. She has no idea what she's doing to herself. Her and Gypsy do not know how to just shut their mouths. But the insane part is, look at the comments. People are like, I'm loving this, Kate. Keep the stories coming. Gator bite, bee sting. Come on. Let's have another fake story, Kate. Bring on another one, Kate. Kate is now famous story maker. So you know what? The way you can do details in this story, Kate, I don't believe any story you told about your mom and your leg. Because now I know how good you can lie. About your sister being in the hospital, about you being in the hospital. We know how good you can lie now. You can come up with a story with people, details about a construction site, details about gators and bees and this and that. And I mean, the details of these stories are insane. Because how you tell if somebody's telling the truth is how much detail they have in their story. Lack of detail usually means lying. Gypsy is always vague. Whenever you ask Gypsy about her mom, she is always vague. Like when she said, I had a dream about my mom, the pink house, and that was it. Like, it was a very vague. She just said a couple details. My mom, the pink house, blah, blah, blah. There was no detail in the story. But Kate, the details she can put in the story. Is Kate stealing other people's stories? I wonder if there is an amputee out there with this story. With a gator story, with a shark story, with a bee story. Because now I don't doubt when she was talking about most people lose their legs to shark bite or military. Maybe at one time she did make up a story about being in the military or shark bite. But then she's just kidding. No, she lost it to maybe because she didn't want to explain to people Munchausen by proxy. So she made up a shark story, a military story. Now an alligator story, now a bee sting story. She needs a PR team. Who told her this was a good idea? To start coming on TikTok, telling very detailed stories. Kate, you could write a book of lies. Write a book that says the hundreds of ways I lost my leg. Chapter 1, gator bite. Chapter 2, bee sting. Chapter 3, shark bite. Chapter 4, early career in the military. Chapter 5, Jack pushed me down a hill. I don't know. I'm not a good liar, so now I can't bring up more stories. Chapter 6. You know, I don't know. Write a book that says 100 ways you can lose your leg. You can even put little kitty illustrations in there. Holding a baby gator and a big mommy gator going chomp, chomp, chomp. Wouldn't that be cute? Little illustrations. Mommy gator, baby gator, jump, jump, jump. Did you meet the real life Jaws? Is that how you lost your leg? Well, let me guess. You were an extra on the movie set, and the electronic Jaws accidentally bit your leg off. She better watch her mouth with the military. Oh, yeah. If she starts in on a military story and disgraces our veterans like that. Right now, I'm wondering if she's stealing somebody else's story. Is she looking up stories of how people lost their legs? Let me see. I'm going to look up a story real quick. Lost leg, bee sting, Let's just do lost leg to bee sting. Kate's problem? I'm just seeing if there's somebody that really did lose their leg to a bee sting and she stole their story. But I'm not seeing one. I'm not seeing anything. I'm trying to see like what did Kate Google? Did she come up with these stories? Is she that good? Did she literally come up with these stories or did she steal somebody's story? Cause this isn't funny. What if somebody did lose their leg to a bee sting? Or I know there's people out there that lost their legs to alligator bites. Steve Irwin almost did, and Steve Irwin ended up passing away because he got stung in the heart. It's not funny to talk about nature and dangerous animals in nature because there are people out there that lost loved ones to dangerous things in nature. I mean, everybody remembers Steve Irwin, the alligator guy. I wonder if, because she only came out 3 years ago, right? So Kate's story is 3 years ago, she hits TikTok with this Munchausen by proxy story. In rave review, she doesn't want to talk about Gypsy Rose. She avoids her story. What if this was a ploy to meet Gypsy one day? What if she was following Gypsy's story? Maybe she was in the Facebook groups. Maybe she wanted to... I wonder if she wrote to Gypsy while Gypsy was in jail. Speaking of this, what do you think, Chrissy? Okay, I'm gonna give a wild story. Okay, we're gonna get speculative here. Okay, this is all speculation. We're gonna get speculative here. Okay, Sarah says she has a degree in like communications or something and whatever. She was in the entertainment world and she had 10,000 followers. She knew about Gypsy because the entertainment world knows about Gypsy. The true crime world knows about Gypsy. Everybody knows about Gypsy, okay? She was in the entertainment world. She knew about Gypsy Rose. She had a theory about Gypsy's story. She says she came to the true crime community because she wanted to tell. She came in January after Gypsy was released. She says she found only 2 people, Natasha Cooper and Fancy, and she had to choose between them 2. She chose Fancy. I don't believe that story. I don't. I think she purposely found out who was popular in the true crime community. She found out that that was Fancy. She wanted clout. She wanted attention. She didn't want to just go to any streamer. She could have brought it to any streamer. She could have streamed it herself. She didn't even have to buddy up with anybody? Why didn't she just do like I did? I was a Twitch streamer gaming, doing the occasional true crime story. I did 6 true crime stories before I did Gypsies. Why didn't she just talk to her 10,000 followers by herself about Gypsy? Why did she have to buddy up with somebody? I think she knew who Fancy was. I think she knew that Fancy was used to be close to the Blanchard family. Anybody in the entertainment world would know, because Fancy's in People magazine and everything. She would know Fancy, and especially Natasha Cooper. They were the first 2 people who Christy trusted. Christy trusted them 2 so much that they're the 2 that got the crime scene photos from the discovery file. They're the 2 that got the discovery file. Christy handed over the discovery file to only 2 streamers. 2. Those are the 2 streamers, apparently, that she came across. Are you kidding me? Because when TMZ wanted to do a story on Gypsy, they came across like 20 TikTok creators, Conspiracy, Nina. Everybody's recognizing that one chick with the half black hair, half blonde hair. They're all in Life After Lockup. TMZ didn't put Fancy or Natasha Cooper in their show. Why not? If Fancy and Natasha Cooper are the only 2 out there that do Gypsy, and that's all Sarah could find, then why didn't TMZ put those 2 in Life After Lockup? I think Sarah knew exactly who Fancy was. I think she envied Fancy. I think she wanted to be Fancy. She got with Fancy behind Ryan Lee's back. She said Fancy groomed her. I think she purposely sought out Fancy. She could have brought that story to any streamer out there. There was a lot of us out there. There's her out there. She's been out there since 2019. I'm sure if we look at the Ward case files, I'm sure she's been covering Gypsy since before Gypsy got out of prison. I'm sure we can look up and see that she's been there since December. I don't believe the story that she had only 2 streamers to choose from, and unfortunately, she chose Fancy over Natasha. She could have just done Gypsy on her own. Why did she need to partner up with anybody at all? She had 10,000 followers. She didn't have to cross over to the true crime circle. She didn't. She didn't have to cross over here. She had her own channel. She was monetized. See, this is where I just don't get Sarah's story. I don't understand that she accidentally got with Fancy. That she didn't know who Fancy was. And she pretends that Ryan Lee never warned her about Fancy. When Brandy and everybody says Ryan warned you. I warned you in that live. Everybody warned you. I think she knew she was headed for drama. But see, drama is what brings in the views. You know this in the entertainment world. You know this. Whoever brings the most dramatic story wins. Nina won because she kept pointing out that Ken's gay and saying the tea was hotter than hot. Nina went from being a beauty influencer and doing 2 or 3 gypsy videos a month to 2 or 3 gypsy videos a day and calling Ken gay, saying she had proof and the tea was hot. The drama was hot. She got 30,000 followers overnight. And she won because she had the most dramatic story. On TikTok. She brought the tea. She brought the drama. I don't think she was like, flip the coin. Oh, it's heads, it's Fancy. If it was tails, I would have been with Natasha Cooper. Sorry. Picked Fancy. I know, all these people are just crazy. I stand with Morbid on A, why can't we all get along? And B, I stand with Morbid and the Ward case when they both tell Fancy, drop it and walk away. Just drop Gypsy and walk away. Like you said you were going to. I told you guys the day that Fancy put out that video, we're done with Gypsy, I told you guys she wasn't done. That was just for clout. Whenever somebody posts a porn me video, I'm done because I've had enough in this community and blah, blah, blah. I've had enough. No, they haven't. They just want more drama. So they tell you, I'm done. No, if you say you're going to be done, be done. Okay? Stick with your promise. Be done. Drop it. Fancy, do you want 10 more charges on you? Just drop it. I stand with Morbid in the Ward case. If something was going to ruin my life, if I found out one day that me talking about Gypsy, because when I first started talking about Gypsy, I was on Twitch playing Fortnite. When the person who was on voice chat with me is like, I'm living my best life ever. And I was like, and the tea is fire. And he's like, oh my gosh, you know this? And I said, yeah, I know who Gypsy Rose is. And I said, she's got 9,000 followers, like I'm going to touch this case. And then another guy piped up, and he watched my 6 other videos, and he said, Rose, you do good on talking about crime. He said, I want to see more videos. And I said, do you guys really want me to cover Gypsy? I said, I'll do it if you want me to, but I don't want to do it if, I don't want to do it if, I don't want to do it if it's going to cause me problems. I said I touched cases No, they didn't get me hardly any more viewers. They didn't make me popular. I was afraid. I didn't know what touching somebody as popular as Gypsy would do to my account. And then when it did nothing, I kept covering it. When I found out I didn't get a rush of people putting me down, I kept covering it. I wasn't going to cover it if it was going to hurt me. I'm so worried today, guys. I'm nervous today. I'm a nervous wreck. Can somebody hold me? Oh, God. Today's a hard day for me. I'm trying to stay calm. My kids, my son lives 3 hours away, 3.5 hours away, depending upon which freeway you take. Is 3.5 to 4 hours when I go through Provo Canyon, when I go through Bridal Veil Falls. But if you take Parley's from Salt Lake City, it's 3 hours. But Parley's is a twisty, windy canyon that's kind of dangerous. My mom is picking up my 3 children from that small town out there, and she's driving them to Salt Lake today because they're going to live with her. I'm a nervous wreck because nobody's texted me yet telling me that everything's okay. Okay. Oh, good, they're home. Okay, setting up the beds. Oh, thank God. Okay. I have been a nervous wreck all day. Okay, gotta tell my husband the kids are okay. Dawn! Okay, my kids are safe, so thank God. My mom said, oh, sorry, I've been too busy. I meant to text. My mom knows that you got to text me right away or I'm going to stay in a state of worry until you text me. I know that they were leaving around noon, and they should have been home by 3, 4. Definitely, it's almost 5 o'clock. I'm like, where are they? It's 5 o'clock. Oh, thank God they're safe. Okay. Because my mom was hauling a trailer of their stuff over a really dangerous canyon. Parley's is very, very dangerous. That's why I go through Bridal Veil Falls. Because Bridal Veil Falls, beautiful scenery, beautiful place to drive through. And safer. Less traffic, less diesel trucks, less everything. So I've been like, in the back of my head, I'm like a mess, waiting for my mom to text. And I was worried that I was streaming on TikTok, and I'm like, I'm streaming on TikTok, so I don't know if she texts me or anything, and I keep checking for texts, but hell. I don't know, what do you think about the story of how Sarah got with Fancy? Do you believe it, or do you think there's something more behind it? So, oh, thank God. They're okay. Why does it say pop? Oh, what the heck is that? Okay, whew, I've been a nervous wreck all day. My kids are safe. They are now only 30 minutes away instead of 4 hours. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be able to see my kids almost every week now. I'm gonna be able to see them all the time. Oh, I miss those little guys. This house is so quiet without them. Yeah, you guys have no idea what my house is like when they're here and they're streaming with me, because they've been gone out of the house, so I get to stream by myself quietly all day long. I can just sit here and stream quietly, and they're not here to bug me for 1 second while I'm streaming. I wish they were here to bug me. I wish I had kids that came in while I was streaming, and it's really hard right now for me. Like, I was at church on Sunday, and they were talking about challenges and struggles in life, and how you get through your how people why do people have, some people struggle for a short amount of time, some people struggle for a longer amount of time, but things come up in life and you have to handle them. And people were talking about the worst struggle they have to go through every day. And their worst struggle was that their kid doesn't like to wear shoes. That their kid doesn't want to wear shoes and you have to make your kid get in the car. That your kid does this or your kid does that. And I'm sitting there wanting to cry because I wish that was my worst struggle in life. I wish I could say the worst part of my day is that my kid bugged me, that my kid didn't mind me, that my kid wouldn't put on his shoes, that my kid wanted a candy bar at the store I couldn't buy him. I wish my struggles were that I couldn't find my box of clothes because I just moved. They don't know how much it hurts when they complain about their children to somebody who's sitting there who lost their children. And that's why Gypsy and everybody and Ken last night was annoying. They're complaining to people I wanted to smack Ken last night. If I was up on that panel, I would have been like, Ken, come here, come here. Let me knock some sense into you for a second, Ken. Complain all you want, Ken and Gypsy. Some people wish that they had your struggles. I mean, people don't wish they unalived their parent, but everybody has a past. Somebody on Morbids shared their past with Ken last night. That's when I came in. I woke up and I came in as they were sharing their past with Ken. They have a very close past to Gypsy. A very close past to Gypsy. They do. Gypsy can't sit there and say nobody knows what it's like to be me. A lot of people, Gypsy, know what it's like to be you. They just chose differently. They didn't choose to plan and execute somebody's demise. Instead, they figured out a way to walk away from the situation. This is why you just don't lie and grift in the first place. Yeah, let Gypsy's story be an example to everybody. This is why you don't lie and grift in the first place. This is why you don't. Because I love that saying that says, oh, what web we weave when we plan to deceive. You know? The wild web you weave when you plan to deceive. Because once you weave that web and people get caught in it, you can't change that. You can't. You can't change the people got caught up in your web of deceit. And just because you cut them loose finally doesn't mean they don't take something away from it. You can't just cut people loose from your web of deceit and say, forgive me. And then turn around and start a new web. You have to walk away from your web and never make another web again. You get it, Gypsy? You can't keep deceiving and winding another web of deception and catching people up in that. You can't. That's the problem. Ken and everybody keeps saying, well, what's your problem with Gypsy? What's your problem? Ken, you have no morals. You broke up a marriage. Don't say you didn't. Don't say you didn't. Don't blame Ryan. Don't blame this on Ryan. We saw half of what went on. Ryan said the other half we didn't see is that him and Gypsy did have chemistry when the cameras weren't rolling. And I do believe that. Because I saw Gypsy jump on top of Ryan and happily kiss him while he was sitting on the couch. I saw her being playful with Ryan. I saw her having a good time with Ryan. So you can't tell me that they weren't in love, that they didn't have. And Gypsy keeps admitting up until the time she left Ryan, I do love you. Here's Gypsy's thing, though. She thinks she can love Ken better than she can love Ryan. She wants Ryan to get with somebody who, because she knows he's a good guy and he deserves true love. But Gypsy told everybody, because they say, well, why do you want to be with Ken? And Gypsy said, because I'm the only one who can love Ken the way he needs to be loved. And she's putting that on Ryan. Saying, Ryan, I do love you, but not the way you deserve to be loved. So let somebody else give you what you deserve, and I'm going to give Ken what he deserves, because Ken deserves me. If Ken can have me, then he deserves me. And he ditched his girlfriend for me. So I'm going to ditch my husband for him. Because if Ken said, I'm going to marry this girl, Gypsy would have stayed with Ryan. Maybe they would have met up and had an affair and cheated on their spouses with each other. I don't know. Gypsy could have still got pregnant with Ken's baby behind Ryan's back. They would just cheat on each other. They would just cheat on their spouses with each other. Or Ken gets married and they leave each other alone. But Gypsy's like, if Ken's available, because look what she said to Mia. And he's single. It wasn't that what got Gypsy wasn't exactly what Ken said about when she finally got her closure, why he left, that lie that he wanted her to grow, see what her life was like single. That lie. It wasn't that sucked Gypsy in. It was Christy saying, and he's single. And he's single. He loves me and he's single, but I'm not single. So she's like, well, if Ryan or if Ken is available and he can have me, then he deserves me and Ryan deserves somebody else better. Because I can love Ryan, but I can love Ken better. Is what she's saying. So she's like, well, Ken's available, so now I got to make myself available so I can love Ken the way Ken deserves to be loved. And Ryan can just go get a new girl because it's that easy, right, Gypsy? It's just that easy. You leave Ryan, he needs to be okay with it, and he needs to go get a new girl because you both deserve happiness, is what you said. Because you believe that you are Ken's happiness, and you believe that somebody else can be Ryan's happiness. Because you believe that only you can love Ken. If only you could love Ken, then why did Ken propose to the other chick? Because obviously she can love Ken. Like everybody said, Ken saw dollar signs. Gypsy came out of... And Morbid repeated it the other day. I saw him. He said Gypsy was worth $3 million. Because I've been saying that somebody said that. A magazine article said Gypsy was worth $3 million when she came out. Morbid repeated it the other day. So now it must be true because he said it. I didn't say it. I said it, but he now said it. So it must be true because somebody besides me said it. This is pissing me off. The thing between creators. Why is it so hard, first of all, for people to credit me instead of just steal from me? And two, okay, I'm not that conceited. I'm sorry, Morbid. I like you, but I'm not that conceited. My name isn't Talk Is Rose. I'm not Talk. Okay, Talk Is Rose? Okay, that's a conceited title. I'm not conceited. It's Talk with Rose. Talk to me. Talk with me. Chat with me. Come to me. Share your problems. Chat with me. Talk with me. Not I am Talk. Talk is me? No, I'm not Talk. I'm not conceited like that. I'd love to see the other chick. What other chick interviewed? That chick that Morbid interviewed last night, it seems like she didn't have really anything to say except for she's just trying to get Millie a platform. She's just trying to spread Millie's word. The thing that Gypsy didn't do. Because it just seemed like all she went up there for was to just keep saying Millie deserves to be released. Millie deserves to be released. I wish I could interview people. I don't know how to interview people. I don't know how to get a hold of people. Nobody ever answers my emails. I even emailed Candace Starr and she never emailed me back. How rude is that? Fancy never emailed me back, Candace Starr. Fancy told me to email her and she would let me interview her. She told me that on her live while she was eating at the diner. While she was stuffing her face at the diner on her way to Chillicothe. So I emailed her and she never answered me back. I emailed you, Fancy. Why didn't I get an email back? You said, email me, Rose, and I will, set up interviews. Where were you? I emailed you. I don't know. Nobody wants to interview with me. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm doing this. I mean, technically, Morbids is an open panel. You don't have to be special to hop up on that panel. You don't even have to be a creator or streamer to hop up on that panel. She was saying Gypsy was in a bar drunk bullshit. What? Yeah, Millie's girlfriend. Yeah, she was just trying to get a platform for Millie. She didn't have any. I fell asleep during her interview. It was that boring. I fell asleep. I was like, this girl is saying nothing. And now Fancy and everybody want to interview her? Ken's ex? I tried to ask Ryan Lee who Ken's ex was, but she just told me to look up Natasha Cooper's live. I don't know who Ken. I thought Ryan Lee would tell me. I thought Ryan Lee would know. Ryan Lee's the only person that's ever contacted me back. I contacted her over TikTok, and she's the only. Well, Kate did answer me back, technically, so I can say Kate texted me back. Kate's nicer than Fancy and everybody else, because Kate actually answered me back. Kate answered me back. Ryan Lee answered me back. Because I can't get creators to talk to me. When was Gypsy drunk in a bar? Was it after probation? While she's on probation? After her release? If Gypsy was drunk in a bar, everybody would have photos of it. That would so not go unnoticed. Gypsy drunk in a bar with a dog leash on her. That's funny, guys. No, that chick just wanted to do what Gypsy didn't do. Gypsy was supposed to get Millie's story. Gypsy did get Millie's story out there. Not on Kim Kardashian. Why is Millie mad at Gypsy? Technically, you cannot be mad at Gypsy. She did get your story out there. I know about Millie because of Gypsy. Not because of her Kim Kardashian show. No. She did talk about... Just because she didn't talk about Millie on Kim's show doesn't mean Gypsy didn't talk about Millie. She talked about Millie on her own 10 million viewers. So why are you mad at Gypsy? I'm going to stick up for Gypsy on this one, okay? I'm going to stick up for Gypsy on this one. Millie, you can't be mad at Gypsy. She did get your story out there, just not on Kim K's show. Who cares? She got your story out there. Gypsy is the reason your girlfriend was on Morbids last night. If it wasn't for Gypsy mentioning Millie, nobody would know about Millie. Nobody would care about Millie because Starlight kept repeating the Millie story to Morbid. And now Morbid interviewed the girlfriend because Gypsy saw the story. Because Gypsy said the story. Starlight kept talking about it. So it's because of Gypsy and it's because of Starlight that Millie's story is out there, and Starlight is the reason that Morbid interviewed Millie's girlfriend, because of Gypsy and Starlight. Trying to be cute and say a bunch of stuff about Gypsy that's not true. I don't know how. Okay. I don't know how guilty Millie is. They didn't have any evidence, no text message, no email evidence, no. However, somebody does keep going to her. What I can imagine is a 16-year-old girl who's dating a 21-year-old boy who is giving her drugs and alcohol. She's out of hand and complaining about her parents. Because what is her parents doing? Her parents are trying to save her. Her parents didn't deserve their demise because Millie wanted to go out drinking and partying, and her parents tried to rein her in. That's a parent's job, Millie. That's what a good parent does. They save their child from dating an adult. They save their child from drinking and being on drugs. They get their child clean and they get their child help. Millie. That's what I'm mad at Millie for. Because that's what I... Nothing about Millie. Because that's what I'm mad at Millie for. I think your parents were probably good parents who tried to save you. And I don't know what kind of complaints you made to your boyfriend, but it gave him the idea to unalive them. But yeah, I don't know. Millie's story, I don't know. I don't know about that story. I'm torn on Millie's story because I don't know if she was like Gypsy and planned her parents' demise or just complained enough to her boyfriend that her boyfriend thought, if I get the parents out of the way, I get her. She opened the back door for him and let him in. If she let him in the middle of the night, I mean, she was probably breaking her parents' rules and stuff. Did she know he had a gun? Did she know what he was doing the night she let him in? Did she know that he was going after? Why didn't she, when he pulled out the gun, why didn't she stop him? Why didn't she scream and stop him, push him, hit him? I don't care. If my boyfriend was at my parents' house and they started to pull out a pew-pew, I shouldn't say the word, so a pew-pew weapon, I would be like, what the freak are you doing? Get out of here. What are you doing? I would be like, what? I would be like, put that away. What are you doing? The girlfriend is the one that looks like a demon, not Millie. And so I would have been like, put that away or I'm calling the cops. I don't know. I mean, can you imagine what you would do? Your boyfriend's knocking on the door in the middle of the night. You'd probably open it up and being like, what do you want? It's the middle of the night. You'd be like, you wouldn't let him in. You'd be like opening the door going, what do you want? What are you doing? And if he produced a pew-pew, you'd be like, what do you think you're doing? And you'd be closing the door and calling the cops. Okay, and this is what I'm confused about. The girlfriend said that Millie broke up with him a couple days prior to the pew-pewing. Why didn't she tell the cops? That's my ex-boyfriend. I broke up with him days ago. He's upset and came after me because I broke up with him. Then the cops wouldn't have tied her to him, except for she said, this is my boyfriend. Why didn't she say, I broke up with him? If she would have said, I broke up with him, she wouldn't be in this trouble. If she would have called the cops and said, my ex-boyfriend is in my house and he's attacking us on the 911 tape, wouldn't you be like calling 911 saying, my ex-boyfriend's here, he's attacking me and my family, come quick. I mean, isn't that what you would say to 911? My ex-boyfriend's in the house? You'd be telling the cops, I broke up with him. I guess he's that mad at the breakup. that he's coming after me? He blames my parents for the breakup, so he's coming after my parents because I broke. And she'd probably have friends that would back up her story. She'd be like, you can ask so-and-so, I broke up with him 2 days ago. He's not my boyfriend. I have nothing to do with him. If she would have said that, then his testimony wouldn't have gone anywhere. But him saying, this is my girlfriend asked me to do it, and her saying, yeah, he's my boyfriend, I'm dating him, they can see, oh, she asked him. She should have been screaming from the top of her lungs, he's my ex-boyfriend, I guess he's mad at the breakup. Because that's what I think most people, and I would most likely do in that situation, is be like, this is my ex. My ex-boyfriend is breaking into my house. My ex-boyfriend's knocking at the door. He's got a pew-pew on the other side, because it's like, it's your ex-boyfriend. Why are you opening the door? You know? There's no forced entry. Yeah, there's no forced entry. She claimed it was her boyfriend. Like I said, why didn't she tell the cops it's my ex? I have nothing to do with this guy. I broke up with him. I don't like this guy. I broke up with him. I mean, if your ex-boyfriend comes knocking at the back door, you're not going to most likely open it. You're going to probably yell through the glass door, what are you doing here? I broke up with you. You're like, I broke up with you. I don't want to deal with this. Leave. You wouldn't open the door for your ex-boyfriend. I think she saw Gypsy's story and she's like, yeah, why can't I have that deal? I don't know. Millie's story's just weird. I don't know how to feel about it. Like I said, if it really truly was her ex-boyfriend, she would have been like, she wouldn't have said, oh, some hooded guy broke into our house. She wouldn't have lied. Because the story is that Millie told the cops that a guy in a hoodie broke in. But the boyfriend, I don't know how they caught the boyfriend. I guess the boyfriend, they caught the boyfriend. And they said the boyfriend's story didn't match Millie's story. Two differing stories. So, yeah, there's two differing stories. And it's like, who's telling the truth? Millie or Chad? And because Millie came up with a fake story of she didn't know the intruder, and the boyfriend's like, oh no, it was me, Millie told me to do it. They believe the boyfriend. Amelia Bird. I don't know her middle name. Amelia Bird. Amelia Bird. Chad R. Brantley. Let's see some. Let's see this. Let's see what this. I think we've already seen what. I don't know if we've seen what this. Let's see what this chick has to say. Okay, let's see what she has to say. Let me get my headphones back on. I don't like to wear my big cat ear headphones. I might need to get some plain headphones. I might need to get some plain headphones that don't cover up my cute little hairdo. I got the cat headphones because I either wear my hair in a ponytail or I wear a wig. And this looks fine with it. But now that I wear my hair like this, it covers up my cute bun. See? Bun gone. Cute bun is gone. Okay, let's see what she has to say. Oops. Okay, why is it?
Of course, all of these stories stand out to me. I've spent a lot of time and effort getting to know these people and their stories. But there are some stories that just haunt me. And Amelia Birds is one of those. I'm not going to get into the story, you will see why. But Amelia, Millie, as her friends call her, is an amazing human. And I want you guys to listen to this. And please write Amelia if you feel compelled by her story. She is one of those people that doesn't have many people in her corner. Her family is not on her side, the family that she has left. And so we are now her family. So if you guys listen and you care, please write to Amelia. It would make her year in prison if you do that. So thank you for listening, and thank you for writing, and thank you for caring.
Okay.
I remember
What the hell is that? Okay. Amelia Bird. Who is this girl in the photo with? See, there's the Gypsy. Gypsy Blanchard got Amelia Bird's story out there, just not on Kim K's. Because when you look up Amelia Bird, the first thing you see is Gypsy and Amelia.
Like plenty of 16-year-olds, Amelia Bird did not get along with her parents. Sometimes, and again, like many 16-year-olds, she hated them. Except Amelia had good reason to. Both her mom and her dad were emotionally abusive, and her dad was physically abusive. Amelia never felt safe in her world. She had sought help from multiple professionals, but nothing ever helped. At a really young age, she turned to drugs, alcohol, and older men. At 16, Amelia and a guy named Chad were dating. Amelia had confided in Chad about the abuse, like she did with her other exes when she needed protection. But Amelia soon broke up with Chad because he too became violent and controlling. One day, on January 16th, 2006, Chad was waiting outside of Amelia's school. She told him that she didn't want to talk, and she left. Later that night, Amelia was sleeping. It was storming, and a crash of thunder and lightning woke her up. She went to the bathroom, and when she passed her parents' room on the way, she saw blood. Amelia was in a haze and couldn't gather what was going on. Before she knew it, the police were there. Both of Amelia's parents had been shot. Her dad survived, but her mother died.
Okay.
When Amelia
So Amelia walked past her parents' room. She saw blood, and next thing she knew, the police were there. I thought Amelia called the police. I thought Amelia has a 911 tape. Because this is confusing me. This girl either is getting the story wrong, or she was told something different, because Amelia's the one who called 911. She called the police. The police were there because Amelia called them.
Amelia was questioned, she told police she didn't know who did it. But she said that her ex-boyfriend Chad could have been involved. When police talked to Chad, his story did not line up with Amelia's, so they were both arrested. Soon, though, Chad admitted to the shooting, but he said that Amelia put him up to it. There was no evidence of this whatsoever, and it was just not true at all. Chad ended up taking a plea deal, and terrified of the death penalty, so did Amelia. She was given 2 consecutive life sentences, which she is still serving now. Today, all of Amelia's appeals are exhausted, but an organization called the Willow Project, which stands for Women Initiate Legal Lifelines to Other Women, took on her case. The Willow team, led by Anne Goretti Rathert, is trying to prove that Chad was lying, that he acted alone, and that his motive was very clearly and simply to get Amelia back. If her parents were dead, he could have her all to himself. But with no physical evidence to exonerate Amelia, this fight is a hard one. Her only hope is clemency.
I mean, I know that there's millions of people out there that know Amelia Byrd because of Gypsy. Well, they were best friends until Millie didn't appear on Kim K's show. This is what I'm saying. Amelia, if you're mad because you weren't on Kim K's show, first of all, why are you worried about Kim K? I don't see her doing anything for prison reform, okay? I don't see Kim K doing, okay? Kim K is not going to walk up to the governor and ask for clemency for you, by the way. Hey, Gypsy is famous. Why doesn't Gypsy just, well, you're in Missouri, and Missouri hates Gypsy, so she can't just walk up to the governor, I guess. But Gypsy did not technically break her promise to you because she did get your story out there. Like I said, I only know Amelia Byrd because of Gypsy. Okay? I know Amelia Byrd because of Gypsy. So she did get your story out there. Just not through Kim K. But what did you think Kim K was going to do, Amelia? What did you think? Did you think Kim was magical? And so you're mad at Gypsy because either A, Gypsy didn't tell your story, or B, Kim cut that out. It's Kim's show. If Gypsy told Kim about you and that went on the cutting room floor, it's not on Gypsy. But the thing is, in a way, I would think, why wouldn't Gypsy mention you? But she did mention you the second she got out of prison on her own platform that has more people than Kim K. Gypsy, I hear, has more followers than Kim K. Yeah, the father lived. What is the father's story? mean, something made the police arrest Amelia. I know the police can be wrong. I know the police can be corrupt. I know our justice system can be corrupt. I don't doubt that. I think Chad got less time than her is the problem. Okay, let me look at Chad Brantley is his name. Oh my gosh, there's other Chad Brantleys out there. Because I think he got Lester charged along with Brantley and the threatened with the first degree murder and death penalty. Amelia eventually. Let's see. Okay, Chad R. Brantley is a 37-year-old who was listed as being under the supervision of the Department of Corrections of the Southeast Correctional Center in Missouri. Murder in the second degree, armed criminal action, 2 counts, assault, first degree, or attempt. 37 years old, date of birth, race, correctional facility offenses. Sentence length, life. He got a life sentence. So he got second degree, 2 counts of assault or attempt. It says life. Gypsy doesn't know how lucky she is. She doesn't. She has no idea that she was lucky that was an election year and the public was on her side. She got so damn lucky because the governor is nobody listens to me. But the governor is the person. The prosecutor works for the governor. The governor works for the state. The governor is the only person who can pardon people, commute sentences, change things, affect what the prosecutor does. The governor can tell the prosecutor what to do, and he has to do it. Because it wasn't until NPG Cornerstone Nation, and now people are somewhat starting to believe me, about why do you write a letter to a governor? Why should we write 10 million letters to the governor on Nick's behalf? Because 10 million letters to the governor on Nick's behalf might A, open that autopsy finally, and B, get his sentence pardoned or commuted. Because yes, the governor, that's why everybody says, write to the governor on Amelia Byrd's half, because now she needs clemency. Who can grant clemency? The governor. Oh my gosh, the governor. Oh my gosh. People act like I don't know crime. See that degree back there? I do. No crime. I hate how people act like I'm stupid. And everything I say is stupid. If we bug the governor to look at that autopsy and bring it out to the public, because Nick deserves to have maybe, I say he should have been charged with what's that called again? When you defile a corpse or something. And he should be out. I think the best idea, somebody said halfway house, and I agreed with that, because in a halfway house, if they put Nick in a halfway house for at least 2 years, I'm thinking minimum 2 years, maximum 5, 7, at least a couple years in a halfway house. If he goes to a halfway house, he has a curfew, he has rules, he will be drug tested, he will have to get a job, and he will have counseling, and he will be monitored if he's put in a halfway house. Yes, he will have a little bit of freedom to leave the halfway house during daylight hours. A halfway house would be the best thing for Nick right now. NPG Cornerstone Nation is asking us to write the governor a letter. I'm going to, because I'm not going to go back on my word. I believe the governor can change things, so I promise you guys, I haven't decided, should I write it in pen and paper, or should I type it up on the computer and print it out? What way should I do it? But I am going to do it, because I believe in writing to the governor, and I'm not going to go back on my word. Action speaks louder than words, so I am going to write a letter to the governor on Nick's behalf. I am going to suggest that he should be in a halfway house with counseling, curfew, rules, blah, 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 because Nick says that he has autism where he should be lightly monitored. He doesn't need constant monitoring, but and a halfway house will give that to him. Give him 5 years in a halfway house, because I believe that he needs help. And so I'm going to write to the governor. I just got to figure out how I want to write this so I look intelligent. I don't want to look emotional. I got to write a letter explaining why I believe that Nick deserves to be commuted or something and be put in a halfway house. Not set free. A halfway house is where Nick should be. I know here in Utah we have halfway houses called the Odyssey House. I've known a lot of people who have gone through the Odyssey House. I have had friends who have lived in the Odyssey House for like 6 months to a year. I think Nick should be, so that's how I know what halfway houses do, because I've had friends in halfway houses. That's when Gypsy came up with the story, her grandma. Yep, Gypsy better be careful, because I don't believe Claude, like I said, I don't know if you were there, Chrissy, but in one of my past videos, there is an article about Gypsy being queen for the day, and on the very last paragraph, it talked about how Gypsy lived with her grandfather, Claude Pitre, and her grandpa was her best friend. Her best friend. Now, if he was being abusive and she didn't like it, why wouldn't she say Dee Dee was her best friend? Why does the news article pinpoint Claude as her best friend? The motorcycle accident they talk about, that was Claude taking Gypsy on the motorcycle. She spent a lot of time with her grandfather. I don't believe that there was abuse there. Like I said, when Gypsy was arrested, she didn't cry abuse from any angle. Not until Dr. Phil interviewed her. And then all of a sudden, when Dr. Phil interviews her, she's got all these new problems. But, yeah. Governors are the only thing that can change the court systems. If the court systems are corrupt, it's because the governor isn't paying attention. I got a couple ideas. I was telling my husband the other day why I think the court systems are corrupt. Because judges are actually voted in. If a judge doesn't get voted in, they lose their job. When you go pick up your ballot for your state, or maybe it is on the election year with the president. When you go vote for the president of the United States, it's not just voting for the president. There's laws that are listed on that ballot, and there's judges that are listed on that ballot. And I remember when I voted one year, I knew who Judge Valdez was, so I okayed him being voted back in. But you vote whether a judge stays in or they leave. But usually, you don't know the judges. You look at the list of judges, you don't even know who they are. Prior to voting day, November 2nd, most people don't even know what's on the ballot. So nobody studies the ballot. So when you look at the list of judges' names, you just hit yes, 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 yes. Nobody ever hits no. Unless you know that judge and you know they're corrupt. Then you hit no. But judges don't go out there and campaign. They don't need to. They're not worried about somebody voting them out. Because everybody just hits yes, 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 yes. Don't tell me you don't. Because you don't know any of those judges. And you just hit yes, 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 yes. Yeah, let him be in for another 2 to 4 years, whatever, I don't care. I don't know the judge. Go ahead. And you could be allowing a corrupt judge to stay in the system because you don't look at the judge, you don't look at their appeal rate, and you don't even go sit in their courtroom and see if they're a fair judge. Prior to November 2nd, the public should be going to courtrooms and sitting in these courtrooms and going, yeah, this is a fair judge. Yep, this is a fair judge. Nope, that's corrupt. That's a corrupt decision. No. But see, the public doesn't get into cases, and we don't learn about, people go to jury trial all the time, and the only people that know about the trial is the people that get called for jury duty. Like, our system is corrupt because we're blind. We are blind to who is sitting on the benches. I wish I had a bigger platform to get the word out there to everybody. You're blind, and you allowed the corrupt judges to sit on the benches because you're blind. You don't know the judge? You don't know if they deserve to be voted back in? You don't know. Because I know that there is a few corrupt judges that are biased, and they never let the defense win. The prosecution always wins. The defense never does, and they actually have a high appeal rate. And we're going to vote them in for another year. We are. For another 4 years. We're going to vote them in. Their job is secure for another 4 years because nobody knows them. Nobody knows that they're corrupt. Nobody knows that they run an unfair court. I can't say any judges' names right now. But it's unfair when you're going to court and you know for a fact that you are going to lose because the judge is biased to their friend that is sitting on the prosecution table. And so you know you're not going to win your case. That's a corrupt judge if you know ahead of time that you're not going to win your case. Especially if a lawyer tells you you're not going to win your case because the judge is biased. Prepare to not win your case. Yet they are going to get voted in for another 4 years. If they don't quit their job, which they probably won't because they love their job, they're going to be voted in for another 4 years because you're just going to hit the yes on the ballot. And you've never seen them, you've never Googled them, you don't know them. You have no idea who they are, yet it's on you, the voter, to vote them in or out of their job. So our voting system is crazy and messed up because there's a lot of things on there. I don't know what I'm voting in. I don't know what I'm voting out. I don't know. I'm surprised on the ballot. The only thing I know that's on the ballot is the president and the vice president. I know I'm voting for them. I know that. But as for anything else on the ballot, I don't even know how to look up the ballot. Like, how do you look up the ballot I gotta go vote this November 2nd. How do I know what's on the ballot? I don't know. I need to research the ballot because I need to research the bills that I'm voting for. I need to research the judges that I'm voting for. There's some judges here in my town that I definitely want to vote them back in because they have been very fair, unbiased, very fair in their trial. People have been treated very, very fairly. The judge is very, very nice. The judge seems like a very, very logical person and does listen to logic. And when they hear logic, they vote for it. The judge votes in the judge hears both sides, and the judge votes for the logical side instead of for the emotional side and the side just because it's the prosecution. They actually let the defense have a word in. I don't know what to think about lawyers because our lawyers should be very trusted because on the defense side, the lawyers know generally if you're guilty or innocent because if you're innocent, you got to provide the evidence to your lawyer so your lawyer can fight for you. If you're guilty, you can't provide evidence. And so I think it depends on how strong your lawyer's fighting for you, if you're guilty or innocent. Because see, with Nick, he didn't provide enough evidence that he was manipulated and innocent, and they let some of the text messages get redacted. Starlight has told us about how they redacted half of the text messages to make it look like Nick was the master. They redacted it's like taking a few paragraphs out of a story here and there, and then you're expected to understand the story. It's like I go and redact. I'm going to take a black marker to your book and redact some of your paragraphs. And then I want you to understand the story after I redact a few paragraphs. I'm going to go take your Harry Potter book and I'm going to redact I'm going to redact every other paragraph. And then I want you to understand the book after I redact every other paragraph. When they redact every other text message, yeah, things looked bad on Nick's side. Why didn't the defense put up all the text messages? Why didn't the defense put up the video of Gypsy and the knife and the bed and the house and all of that? Like, there was plenty of evidence that Nick was manipulated. There's so much evidence. His lawyers were bad. Because why didn't his lawyers fight and put that up? Why did they let why did they let Gypsy sit up there and be a yes man for the prosecution? They should have made Gypsy a hostile witness on counter. They should have countered and made her a hostile witness for lying to the prosecution. I don't know. Our lawyers need to work harder. I don't know. Is it more pay that they need? What do we need to get lawyers to work harder? Get more lawyers, lessen their caseload, pay them more? I don't know. What is it that we can do to make lawyers work harder for the innocent? I don't know. Our justice system it's not working. It's not working. If there's a such thing as an innocence project and they're getting people out, it proves that our justice system is corrupt. Our police are corrupt. Our police need to be punished when they lie. If they lie, they need to be punished. They need to be in fear of their job if they lie. Why are police allowed to lie? Police shouldn't be allowed to lie. CPS shouldn't be allowed to lie. Some of the most honest people in this world should be the people with badges. If you wear a badge, you shouldn't be allowed to lie. Not even to get the story, to get your evidence. If you don't have the evidence, then you can't lie to get some. If you don't get the evidence, you don't get the evidence. Either you get the evidence and the evidence is there, or you don't, and I'm sorry, and then you don't get to take somebody to court. Either the evidence is there or it's not there, but you can't lie about the evidence. You can't lie and say you saw something, but you didn't see. You can't you can't make a statement because you think something should be there that's not there, but you think it should be there. Because in your mind, you think, well, if this is here, then this must be here. And you're doing math in your head, but it's just an opinion. The math you're doing in your head is just your opinion. It's not fact. And so you shouldn't be allowed to lie and say, well, if this is here, then this must be here, because this should equal this, and so this must be true if this is here, blah, blah, blah. Then, you know, I have so much to say about this justice system. And I don't know how to fix it. I wish I knew how to fix it. I wish our country could start coming together and focus on the things that really do matter in this country. People talk about, well, African American, black people, they get arrested more than white people. Well, that's part of our justice system. So let's work on our justice system. Why are police allowed to lie to arrest a black person? If we take care of the police lying, we need a federal law that police cannot lie. We need a federal law about how police should conduct themselves. Either conduct yourself properly, control your anger, or you don't need this job. If being a police officer angers you too much, then go get another job. We don't need you as a police officer if it's just going to anger you. You are there to serve and protect, not to get angry and beat the crap out of. Just because somebody runs doesn't mean you get to be angry. And if you have their car and you have their address, well, eventually you're going to get them. You don't need to go chase them down and beat the crap out of them. Just because they got away from you doesn't mean you get to get angry. If they got away, they got away. They got away. I'm sorry, they got away. You got their car, you got their license plate, you got their driver's license, you got their wallet. Go to their house. Eventually you'll catch them. Eventually. Visit their house every hour of the day. I don't care. I don't know. But don't go chasing them down, finding them, and beating the crap out of them. And then they die because of you. Because you got angry. Okay, you don't need a job if you're going to get angry. You don't need this job. Go find a new job. Let somebody else be a police officer that can conduct themselves properly. You don't get to get angry at people. And if people stand on their rights and say, I don't want you to enter my home, I don't have to talk to you about this, you're not allowed to get vengeful and lie to get them arrested because they refuse to talk to you. We have that right to refuse to talk to you, to protect ourselves. We have that right. I don't get where police officers are getting away with being angry and being vengeful and lying because they get upset because you stood on your rights or you ran and got away. Their adrenaline gets rushing and they get angry. It's so messed up. If we made our police officers have to have a moral and ethical code of conduct, and they are no longer allowed to lie in an interview anywhere, they either get the evidence or they don't get the evidence. You either get a warrant and you go find the evidence, and the evidence maths correctly, not with your opinion, not with lies. The evidence has to math. I mean, everything just drives me crazy. Because people want to stop certain things from happening in this country. It's our justice system, guys. We have to start holding police officers, because the only reason why you're in a courtroom is it all starts with the police. The police charge you and arrest you. The prosecutor doesn't go out there and charge you. The prosecutor doesn't go find you and charge you. A police officer and a detective. And what happens is the police officer goes out there. They get whatever evidence they want, whatever the hell evidence they want. They pass it to their detective, who just skims over the paper and says, looks good to me, and signs it and sends it to the prosecutor. The detective doesn't actually look into the case. They just say, well, this report looks good to me, sign it, send it to the prosecutor, and then the prosecutor says, okay, these are the charges, charge, go get them. And then somebody's charged and now they're in court. It all starts with our police officers. That's where our justice system is wrong. That's where it starts. That's what needs to be fixed. Our police officers need to be fixed. When protests happen, the cops are the ones who anger the protests sometimes. Sometimes it's the people at the protest, but sometimes it's the cops. It's like West Side Story without the dancing. As soon as a protest happens. But people also need to learn the rules of protesting. There are rules. We do have rights as Americans to protest, but there are rules to protesting. Just because you have a right to something doesn't mean you get to wildly go out there and practice it. You have to learn the rules before you go out there and you do it. So before you go out there and protest, before you decide to gather a protest, you need to read the rules of protesting. There is rules to protesting. And you need to have people follow it or kick them out of the protest, tell them to go home. If somebody disobeys the rules of the protest, you need to have like team captains in sections, and if people start to disobey the rules of the protest, they need to go home. They need to be asked to go home, or you'll escort them to the police and have them arrested. Because a protest has rules, and you got to stick to them, or it does get out of hand. Everybody's mad at the January 6th, 8th thing, 6th, 8th, whatever. June 8th? I don't know. Something like that. People charging the White House, I guess, on Trump's behalf or something. I don't know. I saw a little bit about it. But as long as they were peaceful, were they yelling, were they screaming, were they pushing, were they fighting, or were they just walking in the White House calmly? Just because there was like a couple million of them walking in the White House, yeah, that's kind of weird. But were they calmly walking in the White House, holding their signs, just calmly walking, holding their signs? Because you're allowed to calmly walk and hold your sign, as long as you're not yelling, being offensive, hitting somebody, fighting, pushing, whatever. As long as you're and you're not blocking public areas, and you're not, usually you have to not be on private property. You have to be on public property to do a protest. I don't know, is the White House public property except for certain rooms or something? But if people need to learn, people that organize a protest need to learn the rules and make everybody stick to the rules. Which means, yes, you just stand there with your sign quietly. You don't shout. You don't get naked. You don't jump in front of people naked and flash them your body parts, okay? That's not a good protest. Okay? People need to learn the rules of protesting. Getting naked behind a sign is going to get people to listen less than calm people just holding signs and talking very calmly. Like I'm talking, very calmly. As long as you're talking calmly and being logical, people are going to listen. But if you get naked and scream at people and put offensive words on your sign, you're going to get people that don't even want to hear it anymore. They don't even want to know it anymore. They're done, okay? They're done with you. It's 6 o'clock. It's almost dinner time. I should probably get going. But this is crazy. Like, we can go on forever about the justice system, by the way. We can just go on forever. I'm like, forever and ever. But it all starts with the police, guys. That's where our justice system begins. With the police. Because they wear a badge, when they talk to a judge, the judge believes them because they're trusted. Except for when I went to court, the lawyers did explain to the jury just because they're a cop and they wear a badge doesn't mean they're telling the truth. And that's a sad thing. They should be able to say, this is a cop, they wear a badge, they are not going to lie to you. The cop in my trial, he testified for the prosecution, but it was so funny because his answers sounded like he was testifying for the defense. Me and my lawyer were looking at each other going, wow, do we really need to cross-examine him? He's testifying on my behalf. It's like, are you serious? What? He's a witness for the prosecution? But he sounds like he's testifying for me. That was weird. I thanked him for being honest when we left the courtroom. And he's like, of course. And it's like, well, cops aren't honest, so thank you for being honest on the stand. Because you were honest. I'm like, you answered every question honestly, thank you. Because it sounded like you were testifying for me. It didn't sound like you were a witness for the prosecution. That's probably one of the things that helped the jury side on my behalf. Is the cop testified in my behalf, basically. But the prosecution put him up there. So it was actually laughable. Because some cops can tell the truth. But the reason he arrested me is because he thought I had meth on me. He thought if he arrested me and searched me and found my meth, he'd get to keep it. So he did unfairly arrest me because I had acne on my face and I just had my hair in a shabby ponytail. That's why I started wearing my hair nice with bows and stuff. Because I don't want to look trashy anymore and have a cop accuse me of being on drugs and arrest me because he thinks he's going to get drugs off of me. I just got in the mail that day. I was wearing a white dress that day with cherries on it. It was a 1950 styles dress, you know, with the bust line. That was tight right here and then loose from here down. And it had the straps. And it was white with cherries on it. Beautiful dress. Love that dress. It's beautiful. I don't even know if I can fit in it today. I was a little bit skinnier back then. And my Harley Quinn shirt came in that day in the mail. Said, Daddy's Little Monster. So I put that on with a pair of black sweatpants. And then I got in trouble with my in-laws and the cops got called. And here I am with my hair in a ponytail. My face is bleeding and busted up. I'm in a Harley Quinn shirt. Man, I should have stayed in my dress. If I had stayed in my dress, he would have been less likely to arrest me if I had stayed in my dress. Unfortunately, I changed my clothes into my Harley Quinn shirt. And I had a little bit of acne on my face, and so he thought, wow, this girl's got drugs. She's a picker. Now, I do pick at my face, and it's a habit that I picked up in the 6th grade. It's a long story. I do pick at my face and my hair. You'll see me occasionally pick at my head while I'm on stream. Don't worry about it. It's a habit I've carried since the 6th grade. I've actually plucked myself bald before in the 6th grade. It's a habit I picked up. It's hard to drop. I heard somebody talking about it the other day. There is a name for it. But I did pick up a picking habit. So I pick it myself. Oh, my family used to get so mad at me. They'd be like, Rose, go look in the mirror, quit picking. They're like, go look in the mirror, Rose. They're like, it looks like a bird pecked at your head. They're like, stop it. They're like, every time you pick it yourself, you make the scab bigger, it takes longer to heal, and you look stupid. My family used to get so mad at me for being a picker. Oh my gosh, they were so mad. So, ask my family, I've always been a picker since the 6th grade. It's just a safety habit I picked up. But hey, it's come in handy. Anyways, I'm gonna go have dinner. I'm sorry Kate's out there making all these videos, guys. I'm sorry. Kate's making everybody look like a fool. She's showing us that she is one of the best liars in the world. I cannot believe the complete stories she's coming out with. Oh my God. The stories. She's coming out with complete entire stories. It's crazy. Crazy. But yeah, anyways. She's just ruining her reputation. It's all on her. Her and Gypsy don't understand that they are ruining their reputation. Not us. Us streamers are not streaming false stuff and ruining your reputation. Except for when Ken gets called gay and stuff like that. And just cause Katie Joy's spreading rumors that Gypsy and Ken are pointing the fingers at each other for infidelity. I'm not gonna start passing rumors that they're cheating on each other either. Just because they're pointing the fingers at each other doesn't mean it's going on. I don't know if Ken is... I know that sometimes Gypsy's at Christie's and Ken's at his own apartment, and Gypsy gets worried when Ken is by himself, but... Gosh, I almost got my battle pass. Yay. It's almost all the way owned. Just got these few left. Anyways, I'm gonna start playing Fortnite and stuff tomorrow because I need to earn this battle pass. Oh, here we go. Anyways, you guys, stay beautiful, stay safe, stay warm, stay happy, stay loved, because you are. And I will see you when we want to talk about stuff. I know we need to move on to maybe tomorrow we'll talk about Micah Miller. I do want to talk about that case. I do want to see what your guys' opinion is on the Micah Miller case. Because this pastor is insane. And was he or was he not there? Let's talk about it maybe tomorrow. Let's talk about it. Alright, love you guys. Thanks for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. And like Toddy says, I echo Toddy on glad you choose me to spend your day with. Glad you choose me to chat with and to watch my videos and to comment. I love all your comments, and I try and comment back and have a chat back with you. And like I said, if we actually have a chat going on and it seems interesting, I'll make a video about it. And I've made videos before because it's well, we're talking about it in chat, so let's bring a video out. Let's bring a video out and let's talk about this. So if you have something you want me to talk about, just comment on this video and I'll comment back, and if it's something you want me to do, I will make a video about it and we'll start doing that. I still need to talk about my opinions on Scott Peterson too. I got an interesting opinion about Scott Peterson that nobody's thought of. You guys want to hear it? Well, you'll have to catch me on another stream. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. We'll have to see. Christine, thank you for coming in. And Chrissy Cakes, you guys are awesome. Thank you for chatting with me and bringing subjects to the stream. Love you guys. We'll see you later, either on my stream, Morbid stream, maybe Starlight stream, or somebody else or something. I know Starlight, I think, streamed on TikTok today. I don't know if she streamed on YouTube. Alright, love you guys.